ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀਓ। ਜੋ ਜਨ ਭਾਉ ਭਗਤ ਕਛ ਜਾਣੈ, ਤਾ ਕਉ ਅਚਰਜ ਕਾਹੋ। ਜੋ ਜਲ ਜਲ ਮਹਿ ਪੈਸ ਨਾ ਨਿਕਸੈ, ਤਿਉ ਢੁਰ ਮਿਲਿਓ ਜੁਲਾਹੋ। ਜੋ ਜਨ ਭਾਉ ਭਗਤ ਕਛ ਜਾਣੈ, ਤਾ ਕੋ ਅਚਰਜ ਕਾਹੋ। ਜੋ ਜਲ ਜਲ ਮਹਿ ਪੈਸ ਨਾ ਨਿਕਸੈ, ਤਿਉ ਢੁਰ ਮਿਲਿਓ ਜੁਲਾਹੋ। ਹਰ ਕੇ ਲੋਗਾ ਮੈਂ ਤਉ ਮਤ ਕਾ ਭੋਰਾ। ਜੋ ਤਨ ਕਾਂਚੀ ਤਜਹ ਕਬੀਰਾ, ਰਮਈਐ ਕਾਹਾ ਨਿहोraa ਰਹਾau। ਕਹਿਤ ਕਬੀਰ ਸੁਨਹੁਰੇ ਲੋਈ, ਭਰਮ ਨਾ ਭੂਲਹੁ ਕੋਈ। ਕਿਆ ਕਾਂਛੀ ਕਿਆ ਊਖਰ ਮਗਹਰ, ਰਾਮ ਹਿਰਦੈ ਜੋਈ। ਕਹਿਤ ਕਬੀਰ ਸੁਨਹੁਰੇ ਲੋਈ, ਭਰਮ ਨਾ ਭੂਲਹੁ ਕੋਈ। ਕਿਆ ਕਾਂਛੀ ਕਿਆ ਊਖਰ ਮਗਹਰ, ਰਾਮ ਹਿਰਦੈ ਜੋ ਹੋਈ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, today's Sri Darbar Sahib Hukamnama Sahib on Ang 692 is by Bhagat Kabir ji. Bhagat Kabir ji, they say that jo jan bhaau bhagat kachh jaanai. Bhagat Kabir ji saying that those jan means literally, you will see translated to servant. Jan, Sangat ji, comes from the word janam. And there's two types of janam. Obviously there's the janam, there's the birth, janam meaning birth. The birth that when we come into this world, that physical birth that takes place. Jan is also that second birth, that janam that takes place, that Sadhguru ji, Pacha ji talk about as well in Gurbani. They're saying that janam, that when we actually unite with a guru, and through uniting with the guru, and then when we become this humble servant, we become this servant as we start to see Waheguru ji within everything, and we start to serve everything, be it the creation, be it the people of this world, because we can see Waheguru ji in them, and we realize that now I am actually the servant of all of this, everything. And in that way we become the servant. So that's the true janam. Jo jan, Bhagat Kabir ji saying those servants, jo jan bhaau, meaning love. Whenever it comes with a kanna, pabba, kanna, ura, onkar, then that it's love. Without the kanna, so it's just bhaau, then it's fear. This is bhaau. So jo jan bhaau, Bhagat here, Sangat ji, spelled with tatte no sihari. Then it translates to bhagati, meaning the devotion, not the actual devotee. So Bhagat meaning the bhagati, saying that those kachh jaanai, that kachh jaanai means that knows something at least. The things, those servants that know something at least about what bhaau bhagat, about this love-filled devotion towards the entire sargun swaroop of Waheguru ji and the nirgun swaroop of Waheguru ji. That swaroop, that the form of Waheguru ji, everything that we can see, and that form of Waheguru ji that is the formless, that we cannot comprehend with these five senses. So Bhagat Kabir ji saying those that have got this devotional love towards Waheguru ji, jo jan bhaau bhagat kachh jaanai, they're saying that even if they know something about, meaning that they've got a little iota, a little speck of this bhagati, this devotional love towards Waheguru ji, they're saying tako acharaj kaahe, they're saying acharaj, Sangat ji. The word acharaj translates to wondrous. Over here we can translate it to that tako acharaj kaahe, that what is so surprising for them. What is Bhagat Kabir ji saying here? What are they leading to here? It's saying what is so surprising for them, then they'll tell us further. They're saying that jo jal meh paas na nikasai. They're saying that just like when you have jo jal obviously translates to water, but what we'll do here is this jal is referring to a droplet of water, or it could even be translated to a nadi, to a river. Let's just take it as to be a droplet of water. So Bhagat Kabir ji saying that jo jal mein hai pas meaning that if that droplet of water goes pas, it goes into the actual ocean, jo jal mein hai pas, and it goes into the ocean, then na nikasai, you can't then expect to take that droplet back out. Once it's gone into that ocean, it's gone. Just like Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paat Ji tell us as well in Sri Japji Sahib Ji, they'll say to us that nadiya ate va. They're saying just like the nadis, just like these rivers and streams, nadiya ate va. Pav hai, when they go and merge back in with the ocean, nadiya ate va, pav hai samund. Once they're back into that ocean, then na jaaniya hai. Paat Ji is saying that na jaaniya hai, meaning that nobody can then know that river again. Because it's gone now, it's become a part of that ocean, it's lost itself. Bhagat Kabir ji saying that jo jal mein paas na nikasai, just like that droplet of water cannot now return back from that ocean, it cannot be separated. Then just like in that way, Bhagat Kabir ji saying tiau, ddur, milio, julaaho. Julaaho is they're referring to themselves because julaaho means the weaver. Bhagat Kabir ji was born into a family of weavers, and this is the work that they actually took on as well and continued in their life. They're saying just like that, tiau, ddur, milio, julaaho. Ddur, Samit ji, can be translated to something that slips, and what this means is tiau, ddur, milio, julaaho. How did this julaaho, this weaver, milio, just like that droplet merged back in with that ocean, how was it that this droplet, this Kabir, that this soul merged back in with the Supreme Soul, that became one with Vaheguruji? This is ddur. It's something I had to slip away, something I had to let go. But the Kabir ji says that when I lost my ego, when there was no veil left of me thinking that this is I am and I am separate to Vaheguruji, when all of that I let go through the recitation and meditation on Naam, they said in the same way as that happened with the droplet of water going emerging into the ocean, this is just like that. This is when I dropped my ego, this is that I merged back in with Vaheguruji. Bhagat Kabir ji saying, Har ke logaa main to mat na bhoraa. Bhagat Kabir ji saying, Har ke logaa, oh listen, people, loga obviously meaning people, har ke loga, listen, you people, the people of Vaheguruji, the people of God. They're saying har ke loga, main to mat ka bhoraa. Me, my intellect ka bhoraa means bhola, means that I'm a very simple man, meaning that I'm not somebody that is full of cleverness. I haven't got I'm not very intelligent in that way. Bhagat Kabir is saying I'm a very simple man. And what they mean intelligent in that way, in the way the world now today thinks that everything's based on this intellect, and then what Bhagat Kabir is saying here, that cleverness, when this is negative cleverness, the cleverness that the people of the world use to outdo someone. But Bhagat Kabir says, I'm a very simple man. And then they go on to say that jiau tan kanchi tajeh kabeeraa. This is jiau tan kanchi. Tan means body. Jiau tan kanchi tajeh kabeeraa. Kanchi is that place where Bhagat Kabir ji grew up. Kanchi is that place where it said that Bhagat Kabir ji was born. Kanchi Sangat ji is said to be one of the most sacred places for the Hindu faith, those that actually go, and then it was the central place of where the Vedas were taught as well, where the knowledge was given. But further that, the actual importance that was given to Ganchi was, it was said that if you come during your last moment, when you're just before you're about to die, and if you actually die in this place of Ganchi, which is at the edge of the river Ganges where people come. So this is where Ganchi Sangatji is that place which is today called Varanasi, and or was very famously known as Banaras. So this is that place where people actually bring the ashes back to those people that have passed away, and they bring their remainders back when they have been cremated, and they bring it to Ganchi, and they actually put those ashes into the river Ganges, and so the remains of the body of after it's been cremated, and it's then submerged back in and it's put into the river Ganges. And the reason for that is they say that if they bring their ashes back to the river Ganges, that it will actually help them to obtain liberation once they've left their body, and it will help them to then go to heaven. But Sangatji, and a lot of people would actually come there at their time of diminishing of when they were going to die as well. If they knew they were going to die, they would come there to leave their body in that place, because it was believed that if you leave your body in this place, then that you will be liberated after death and you will get to go to heaven. But Sangatji, that's actually not the truth. The truth was that if you come to this place, this is that place where some people actually bring dead bodies and cremate people. This is that place that it's all so much revolved around death. That place, Ganchi, of which is the center place of where you would see the biggest of scholars that would teach the Vedas to other people, and is said to be one of the most sacred places. And then you'd see people bringing back the remainders of somebody's body that had been burnt. So everything was about death over here. So one of the things, it was more so that if you haven't actually connected to the ultimate truth of death, of this body actually coming to an end, that if you know you was dying and you're going to see now, you're going to be exposed during that time of when you're going to be leaving your body, you're going to be exposed to death in that way where you're going to be seeing dead bodies being burnt. You're going to be actually seeing people coming back who's just lost somebody, and you can't escape that truth in that place. So in that way, there was an opportunity to awaken from being exposed to this truth of death. Just like Sangatji, Bhagat, just like Guru Nanak Dev Ji Sache Paatshah Ji sent Bhai Mardana Ji, and they sent Bhai Mardana Ji, they got 2 pieces of paper, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah Ji put on one piece of paper. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah Ji said to Bhai Mardana Ji, I want you to go and get something that is such, something that is the truth. Ek te Paatshah ne sach likh deta, ek te Paatshah Ji ne jhoot likh deta. And on the other paper, Paatshah Ji, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah Ji wrote false. They said to Bhai Mardana Ji, I want you to go out to the market, I want you to go to different shops, and I want you to go and ask somebody that these are the 2 things you want to buy. You want to buy the truth and you want to buy false. Bhai Mardana Ji went from shop to shop, and people laughed at Bhai Mardana Ji. They said, this isn't something you can buy from a shop. We sell vegetables, we sell this, we sell kapde, we sell gold. You can't expect to get this from us. But when Bhai Mardana Ji reached the shop of somebody called Mullah Khatri, Sangatji, he actually looked at these 2 pieces of paper, and on the one where it actually said where it said truth, he wrote on that piece of paper ke marna sach hai, that the truth is that we're all going to die. Just like Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Paatshah Ji tell us, they say that jo upje so binas hai, paro aaj ke kaal nanak har gun gaile chhad sagal janjal. They say that whoever is coming to this life and is born will die one day as well, meaning referring to this body. Kende jo upje so binas hai. Kende whatever we see, kende jo dise so chalan har lapt rahe hote and andar. This is whatever we are looking at, this says will one day come to an end. So good, and he wrote on that piece of paper, Marna Sach hai, and on the other piece of paper he wrote, he goes, Jiuna Jhoot hai, that living is false, meaning that if we think that we're going to be able to live within this body forever, then that is false. That is not true. That even though Bhagat Bhai Gurdas is telling us that people are attached and are wanting and not getting enough, and they want to live more and more, more and more. And Sangat Ji, that's why then they say that we get caught up in this way, and Bhagat Kabir Ji is here. So actually, Kanchi was meant to be that place that in the last moments it might actually awaken somebody to say that actually this is the ultimate truth, death, and you come into that acceptance of death, seeing it, being exposed to it, and then it can help you for Vera. It can set you into Virag. Virag means when you have that then detachment from what is from this body, and you feel that you feel that pull towards wanting to know the Creator. And as you have that pull of wanting to know the Creator, and then Sanatji, from that you actually then can become liberated from your Virag. It can take you to Sahaj, and then from Sahaj it can take you to Anand. Sangaji starts off from Taram, living righteously, living within a discipline. From Taram it takes you to Virag, and then from Virag meaning wanting to know the ultimate truth and realizing that this is actually all temporary. And then that Virag sets in, so which some people call, which is Vivek Buddhi. Har Preo Swami ke dware dije Buddha Viveka. You give me this understanding, Satguru Ji, when I surrender to you, that what is false and what is true. And then when I have this pull towards the truth, that Virag, Har Tijridi Lav Man Chau Pya Bairagiya Balram Ji, that Sangat Ji then it becomes that Har Tijridi Lav, then Sangat Ji, then actually that becomes that path. It creates the path which takes us to Sahaj. Sahaj meaning completely balanced and focused, and then we merge back with Vaheguru Ji. Only merging back with Vaheguru Ji, we will have then constant bliss, Anand Paya, Meri Maae, Satguru, Main Paya. Through my Satguru, I actually then united with Vaheguru Ji. So Bhagat Kabir Ji here is saying that Jautan Kanchi Tajeh Kabeeraa, that because this was the common belief of people, not actually realizing the truth behind what Kanchi can actually do for somebody, where it may be able to awaken you, but people fell into these false ritual practices and had these false hopes that if you die there, that you're going to be liberated. But Bhagat Kabir is saying, Jautan Kanchi Tajeh Kabeeraa, this is this place that I have grown up, this place that everybody else comes here and visits during their time of death. This is where they want to die, to become liberated. But Bhagat Kabir says, now that I'm reaching my old age, now Bhagat Kabir is saying, now as I am getting closer to death, I'm actually going to be leaving Kanchi. Jautana Kanchi Tajeh Kabeeraa, ramieeaai kahaa nihoraa. They're saying that then how can it be known that ramieeaai kahaa nihoraa, that actually connecting to Vaheguru Ji and reciting and meditating on Vaheguru Ji's name, then how will people know that actually that it's meditating on Vaheguru Ji's name that liberates you whilst you're still alive? It's not about coming there and thinking you're going to be seeking, and you're seeking liberation after death. But Kabir Ji saying, no, that's not how it works. The way it actually works is that you've got to become one with Vaheguru Ji now. We will be there in that place where after death, wherever we are now, whatever our state of mind is. Bhagat Kabir Ji talks about becoming one with Vaheguru Ji here, becoming liberated, and that's why they say, rahaau kahat Kabir suno re loi. This is, listen, O people of the world, paramana pulho koi. This is, don't get caught up into this doubt within your mind. This is that you're going to get liberation there. Kya kanchi, kya ukar magahar. Bhagat Kabir Ji saying, what is kanchi? What's the difference? There's no difference between whether you're in a place called Kanchi or whether you're in a place called Magahar. Magahar, Sangat Ji, is said to be that place that was cursed by a saint. Some saint gave a sharaf meaning when you curse a place and you actually say, and he said this place will always remain barren, that it will always remain such a place that nothing could ever grow here, nothing could ever blossom here. And people believed that Maghar is that place, that if you die in Maghar, that because of this curse of the saint, that when you die, you'll actually take form of a donkey and you'll have to become a donkey in your next life. Sangat Ji, that was one belief, or the other belief was that you actually will then go to hell if you die in Maghar. Bhagat Kabir Ji decides to come and settle in Maghar during their last years of their life. And Bhagat Kabir Ji, they say, meditated on Waheguru Ji's name so much that place, from being completely a barren piece of land, now it actually started to flourish and it started to become green, started to blossom. This place did, with Bhagat Kabir Ji doing Bhagati. That's why even Guru Sahib Ji say to us that even that jithe naam japiye prab pyare se asthil soin chaubare, they're saying that even these places where you go and meditate on God's name, they become the most beautiful and flourishing place that you could ever imagine. Bhagat Kabir Ji, what are they saying to us here? They're saying don't end up falling into these false beliefs, but the most important thing that Bhagat Kabir Ji is saying to us is, Sangat Ji, that what is the best place to die? The best place is that Sarb Than, Oh Uttam Than, Nanak Jeh Kat Vase Har Naam. The best place, Sangat Ji, is that place where the name of God resides. So Sangat Ji, it doesn't matter where we are. The truth of the matter is, Bhagat Kabir Ji says, that is the best place to die, is when inside our rida, our heart, just like Bhagat Kabir Ji said it in the first Mangati, Jo Jan Bhau, Bhagat Kachh jaanai, that I've got that loving devotion for Waheguru Ji in their heart, that is constantly, their heart is beating with the name of Waheguru Ji. And with that beating name of Waheguru Ji, with that virag of that pull of wanting to be one with Waheguru Ji, becoming one with Waheguru Ji here, when we've gone beyond that doubt of this body being permanent and we realize our true self, realizing our true self, we have escaped from that cycle of birth and death. And then it's about being liberated here, not after death. Many people think that I'm going to meet Waheguru Ji and I'm going to be judged. The judging is happening constantly, Sangat Ji, as well as, yes, being judged when we leave this world, but the judgment is happening constantly. It's now Sabna Likhya Vudi Kalam, that it's a constant, forever flowing pen of Waheguru Ji that is making that judgment is happening now. If we become liberated now, Paach is saying, Sukh dukh jahe parse nahi lob moh abhiman kaho nanak sunare mana, so Murat Bhagavan, that ustat nindya nahe jahe kanchan lo sman kaho nanak sunare mana mukt tahe te jan. Says, no, that one to be liberated, that is beyond that ustat, the praise and slander, the one that is beyond that pain, that pleasure and pain, the one that is beyond the attachment of wealth and gold, that sees everything to be alike, whether it be dust, whether it be gold. Sangat Ji, that is mukti, being mukti here, realizing our true self here is actually the best place we can die. Then it doesn't matter where we are, but just like Bhat Ji saying that, where do I want to do? Marota har ke dwar. I want to die at the door of Hari, of God. Meaning that we've got to be at one, we got to be one with Waheguru Ji from inside. So going through those motions, and then Sangat Ji, that is the best place to die, is when our heart is beating the name of God and we have realized God. That is where we want to go, that is where we want to be. Not getting caught up in these rituals, thinking that if I do this, then after death I'll have liberation. If I do this, then it's nothing to do with after death. It's all about this life. It's all about now. Where am I right now? So let's not fool ourselves to think. So Sangat Ji, there's many people during this time, it's probably anxious and is full of anxiety about, am I going to make it through this period? Am I going to be the one that actually where I succumb to death because of this virus? Sangat Ji, but that death can happen any moment. It's about us looking now. How much is my heart beating with God's name? How much am I experiencing oneness with that Waheguru Ji, with my Creator? How much love is welling up within my heart for everybody around me? How much compassion is inside of me? So this is where we need to be now. If we're there now, we will continue to be in that place. If we're with Waheguru Ji now, we will be with the Waheguru Ji after death. If we're full of desires now, of wanting this, that and the other, those desires will become our driving force when we die as well, and that will then, that is what will take us into the next life form, and whatever it be is going to be our state of mind where we are now. So Sangat Ji, Bhagat Kabir Ji, let's read all the last two pangtiyas together and then do samapti. कहत कबीर सुनोहरे लोई परम ना भूल हो कोई क्या कांची क्या ऊखर मगहर राम हृदय जो होई। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। सतनाम 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 जी। वाहे गुरु जी। सतनाम 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 जी। वाहे गुरु जी। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।